Hey guys, Ryan here with Lift the Curse, and we want to thank World of Metal for having us on this interview.
What's up, World of Metal? My name is John Yadon. I play guitar on Lift the Curse. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for listening to our new album, Don't Bury the Dream.
Very. We can't stop coming up with ideas usually. It's just, some of the ideas kind of sound the same. It's what we've done, across the same paths, but I think if you're constantly being creative, then the next good or great idea is just right around the corner. You kind of stay sharp. It's kind of like being an athlete, just staying ready all the time. And it's I'll just be hanging out with my family, or just doing something outside, and an idea will come up, and I'm like, I got to get to a computer and get this thing recorded and send it over to John. And I think the same thing goes for him. He likes to sit down and he can come up with a guitar riff like it's nothing. So very easily inspired to write new music.
Lift the Curse is just Ryan Hegefeld and I. We started it in April of 2022. We've been best friends for about 10 years in a few different bands, but Lift the Curse started in April of 2022. And then we released our first album in January of 23, second album June of 23, third album April of 24, and then our fourth album is Don't Bury the Dream, which we just released end of May. Answer is yes. Ryan and I, we love the entire musical process, but if we had to pick one thing that's our favorite, it would be songwriting. So we pretty much always lived about 90 minutes from each other. So even before COVID, we have gotten used to exchanging project files. We both use Apple Logic, exchanging project files via Google Drive, and then we write and record our songs that way and have forever. And it just is extremely efficient for us, and we love doing it like that. So we just released this album. We're already working on the next one. A lot of times we each will start a song, and then we'll kind of like see that up to a certain point, whether it's after a first chorus, second chorus, whatever. And then we'll like to flip-flop and then exchange the projects. So we're currently in that right now for some new songs, so it's been extremely fun. But yeah, that's pretty much our process. And then are we easily inspired to write and record music for Lift the Curse? Yes. There's just always things we want to do. It's really fun approaching an album too, because we can really be methodical about, hey, cool, we've got 3 heavier songs, we need a slower song, or we want this song to be really upbeat and jumpy, cool for live, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
A little bit of a roller coaster ride. There's some soft parts, there's some heavy parts, but I think overall, some powerful and meaningful messages. We try to leave lyrics and stuff open to interpretation. Obviously, we have our own stories and things like that we're doing, but I would say I feel like it's a pretty complete album when it comes to the different flavors that you get from song to song. And me and John are super proud of it. It's we're always proud of everything we do, but this one was a fun one, and we really like the title of the album as well, because it kind of encapsulates kind of how we live our lives. And seen a lot of friends and colleagues in the music industry either give up or go different paths and things like that. And for him and I, it's all about just don't give up. Don't bury the dream. It's exactly how it states. So yeah.
I wanted to look at this because it's got all the song titles on it. You can expect everything that we do. We like to keep it heavy, very melodic. I would say, when people ask what we are, I always say rock/metal, but truthfully, I think it depends on the ear of the beholder. If you listen to more metal, then we're probably a rock band to you. If you listen to more rock, then we're probably more of a metal band. Again, Ryan's lead vocals, primarily singing with some screaming parts. So, let's go down the list. Dusk and Dawn, you've got literally everything we do. It starts with clean, melodic vocals right out the gate into a really cool pull-off lead thing into probably one of my favorite riffs on the album for that verse. One of our heaviest riffs later in that song. A fun solo at the end. Flyer Dies, extremely melodic but also heavy. Dead Ends, definitely on the, I'd say, more commercial, popular side for us. Yeah, fun fact, that song Dead End was actually going to be, we have a side project, country-ish side project called Black Star Sunset, and we originally were in between albums and we're like, yeah, let's write a Black Star song. And that idea came up, and then I was the one that lobbied. I was like, man, this is too catchy, this is too good. No offense to our other project, but I was like, let's make this a Lift the Curse song. So we did, and I'm very, very happy we did, because it's one of my favorite songs in the album. Yeah, going down, we got everything. We got the melodic, the heavy, the more on the, we always have at least one kind of ballady song. This album, I would say probably Forevermore, the last song. So you get that, but I'm always going to feel this way about our newer stuff, but I think it's the best work we've put out so far. And again, the songs we're currently writing, I think, are even better. So we're always going to hopefully feel that way, but we hope these songs resonate with you, and most importantly, hope you can connect either on a musical level, a lyrical level, or just a feeling. Hopefully it makes you feel good. You want to listen again, and hopefully you get to see us live someday.
So we do a lot of music videos for our music, and I would say yes and no. Sometimes we'll be writing a song, and John will have an idea for a music video, or I will. And then the other half of the time, our close friend Clayton King, who's our videographer, he's got a super creative brain when it comes to music videos, and lucky for us, he's always willing to get those ideas for us and for our music videos, and so super appreciate him and all the work that he does. But yeah, I would say 50-50. It's sometimes we have the music video idea that goes right along with writing the song, and then other times we're like, what are we going to do for this one? So kind of both.
I'll be curious Ryan's answer for this, but I would say no. Most of the time our music's already done and not usually out. Usually we'll do a video right before release. And a lot of times we shoot with a good friend of ours, Clayton King. Go check him out. Phenomenal musician, phenomenal guitar player, and incredible videographer. But usually it'll just be Ryan and I and Clayton coming up with an idea, based on what locations are available and what we can just kind of do. So I would say we don't usually come up with the visualization ideas beforehand or before songs are done. But for this next round, we're trying to be kind of reverse engineer the thing and already see what the album art might look like, so we can kind of backtrack and make all the singles look similar. So that would enable us to really plan more for the visual and the videos. So again, love the question and thanks for the idea. I think we want to be able to do that, but historically it's always been kind of after the fact.
John and I both probably have some that overlap, like Metallica and bands like that, but we also differ too a little bit. So when I was growing up, at first it was a lot of country, Garth Brooks, Clay Walker. Clay Walker's like an idol. Rick Trevino, and then my cousin Lance got me listening to a little bit of Metallica, and then I got my hands on the Black Album. I feel like Metallica is a great segue, and that album in particular is a great segue to the metal world. And then whenever I started actually becoming a musician and playing more instruments and things like that, and wanting to write songs, the band Fuel was by far my greatest influence. I just loved everything they did. I was listening to them 24/7, literally running batteries down in my my portable CD players just so I could listen to those guys on the bus, had headphones in, and I really studied all of that. And so they were a big influence. Breaking Benjamin, another huge influence of mine, My Chemical Romance. The list goes on and on. There's so many great artists and bands out there. Some bands from the older days like Boston. I freaking love Boston. 80s band The Outfield. So it's kind of a mixed bag between country, rock, metal, things like that. But and influences are crazy important when it comes to where you go in your musical career, because that kind of you get taught little things along the way about song structures, melodies, things like guitar riffs, things like that, drums, and so super important. And a lot of great musical influences for me.
Ozzy and Metallica kind of started it all for me. My parents raised me on 80s hair metal and 90s country, and I love everything in between. When I started playing guitar in middle school, Metallica, Ozzy kind of were my gateway into all other rock and metal. So I very quickly got into all the Swedish bands. I'm a huge let's see. Evergrey is probably one of my favorite bands now. Evergrey, Arch Enemy, from over there, but Finland, Children of Bodom were big for me. Love in Flames, Scar Symmetry. Now I love Amaranth or Amaranth, Soilwork. Although I hope I'm not forgetting any, but I'm looking around to see if I have any other posters around. But yeah, huge Van Halen fan. Love Dime and Pantera, Steve Vai, all those, Joe Satriani, all that. Yeah, I love it all, man. But Zakk Wylde is my favorite. Zakk Wylde and James Hetfield are my favorite musicians. Just love everything they do. Love both their voices and love their songwriting, most importantly. But yeah, Zakk. I'm a big, been listening to a lot of Dream Theater lately, so I love John Petrucci. I firmly believe he's one of the best guitar players to ever do it. Yeah, I'm into pretty much everything rock and metal. I love everything in general, but yeah, Zakk Wylde is probably my go-to favorite musician. Just saw Metallica and Limp Bizkit at the 49ers Stadium in Santa Clara, which was incredible. Highly recommend seeing Limp Bizkit if you get a chance. They did not disappoint, and they were just stoked to be there. So, but yeah, I love everything. But Metallica and Ozzy started it all for me. We've actually been playing a bunch of shows lately, and it's been so much fun. We did our first ever tour, actually, when the album came out. We did in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, back to back, which was really fun. And we had a really good show opening for The Word Alive, The Funeral Portrait, and Melrose Avenue. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. All phenomenal bands, phenomenal human beings, and just extremely good live. So that was a really fun one for us at one of our favorite venues here in Austin called Come and Take It Live. We also got to play Warehouse Live, a really cool venue in Houston, and then an awesome rock club called Fitzgerald's in San Antonio. And that one we were playing a bunch of songs from the album. And then we just this past Saturday opened for the legendary hair metal band Firehouse at a venue called The Hot Spot up in Cedar Park, which is about 20 minutes from Austin. One of my favorite shows we've ever done. Awesome venue, amazing staff. And but yeah, in terms of the new album, what songs are we playing? Currently in our live set regularly is Fly or Die, Regrets of a Dying Man, As You Were. And then we have had Save Me in there, and Wishing Well. But we're probably going to have Shadow in there soon. So playing most of the album, and it's a lot of fun, obviously, getting the new songs in there. So, but again, yeah, thank you so much for listening, and go check out Don't Bury the Dream and Lift the Curse. We actually have a Pat Benatar cover coming out next, July 15th. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, and a Fly or Die music video coming out probably before that. Cheers.
Things, just trying to play a bunch of shows, get in front of people and play some of our favorite tunes from the album. Just trying to get people to listen to it there. Obviously an online push from us as well. We're a bunch of music videos for it. We've got a bunch of videos out for a lot of the songs that are on the album. That's one thing we try to do, is have a music video for almost every song that we have. It's a lot of videos, but it's fun for us, and it's, we live in a visual world where I think that's a big part of how online fans interact with bands or find bands that they like. So they might see just a little video on Facebook, and they're like, oh, that's a cool sound, and then they can dive into that band. Things like that. Play shows, music videos, and then just try to, even word of mouth, just try to tell people that hey, we have another album, and here's probably not a secret. I don't know if John has mentioned it either, but we're already working on the next album, and super excited for that. Obviously pretty in early stages, as we just released Don't Bury the Dream about a month and a half ago, but we're already back in the kitchen cooking things up, and super excited for that adventure as well. So thank you for having us again, World of Metal. We appreciate it. Lift the Curse signing out. Thanks.